We're doing the STEM Expo. This is our second annual STEM Expo where our students from Kenilworth and from other schools around Baton Rouge have an opportunity to show off some of their science demonstrations. It's similar to a science fair, but except instead of doing an experiment, they're doing a demonstration in which they show something really fun and interactive and then share the science behind it.
Last year Kenilworth had the first STEM Expo, but this year we've been able to expand to the whole state, to have schools from around the state, and they're here with exhibitions on science, technology, engineering, mathematics.
We have a lot of students coming from different schools, area schools, presenting simple little projects, but having the knowledge and the background to explain it very well.
We've got a lot of activities that I think are important to higher education. Having kids really interested in science is really most important in this state. We've got 86,000 jobs coming in the next 10, 15 years, all really related to science and technology in this state. We've got to make sure we have kids that are ready to go and prepared for those jobs. By 2018, more than 50% of the jobs in Louisiana's workforce will require a college credential. Jobs in science and technology are going to be the highest paying of these jobs, and this state's future is dependent on the preparation of your youth in these areas.
You know, there's so many jobs that are open now, but people are not qualified for the jobs because they're not educated up to that level. And so this excites me because it gives youngsters an opportunity to recognize that there are opportunities, and STEM is the most important thing that we can study and do, and it just opens up a whole new area for youngsters to have a quality of life, because if you're educated, you can have an exciting life.
I'm here to basically learn stuff from the kids. They got a lot of neat experiences to share with me and explain how their experiments work, so we're here to support this great event.
I have a few kids who are presenting their demos. I have about 10 or 11 students actually who presented those. So just being here for support and helping them with their demonstrations.
What is your daughter doing today?
She's doing a science fair experiment. This is her first year at Kenilworth, and this is her first year doing the science STEM. She seems very excited. It's very entertaining for her, and it's given her a broader view of technology.
I come to see my daughter do her science expo on the dancing raisins.
My son decided, actually his teacher asked us if he could present one of his ideas at this expo, and so we just decided to come in and see what it's about and see what they thought about his ideas.
Why is it important that kids are participating in this today?
Well, it really gives them a hands-on experience with dealing with science, and hopefully that'll give them the science bug, because I think that everybody that really gets involved with science begins to love it and become a part of their lives as they try to build careers.
The STEM fields are one of the fastest growing, or the fastest growing fields right now, and our students need to be prepared for a future where these are the types of jobs that they're going to have. And so to introduce these fields early on so that they have an interest and just kind of understand what it takes, get them really interested in these sorts of fields.
It's really important because it's helping the students to see outside of just, the different professions like doctors, lawyers, but they can be archaeologists, just different jobs, like in the entertainment industry. You can do stuff for different companies. It's a lot of different jobs they're exposed to.
We're trying to instill in students the importance of STEM education, especially to Louisiana, to the U.S., as far as the importance of that in finding jobs and how it is a very growing field that they can really find a lot of interesting and fun things that they can do in the future with that.
It's important because America needs lots of engineers and technicians in the future. I mean, it's one of our most critical shortages in this country, and it will persist for years into the future. And these kids need to be aware of all the opportunities that exist for them and actually all the fun adventures they can have in life if they concentrate on a technical education.
Why do you think overall that it's so important that they start doing this now at such a young age?
Well, simply because if you don't start young and you wait and you're not up to par with all of your math skills and your reading skills and your science skills and the other thing, and you fall behind, you get frustrated. And if you get frustrated, then you are not interested in school. And if you're not interested in school and you're not educated, the consequences are not healthy. They're not good. And so people who come to this event is an exciting event. I was just talking to one of the gentlemen, and they have so many people that applied to come that they had to have a preliminary. So this is the best of the best, and that's really neat because that means that youngsters are getting more involved in STEM, getting more involved and interested in extracurricular stuff like this, and it's exciting to see.
The best way to prepare them is for them to know them and to be interested in them. And the earlier we have that we can introduce them, they really don't understand what's out there. Their scope of possibilities and options are really limited to what they kind of see on TV. And so to introduce them to more things so that they can continue to explore them throughout middle school and high school so that hopefully they'll be prepared in college to take on these sorts of fields.
Science, technology, engineering, and math are the future of where the jobs and the country is going to. So they need people, they need our kids to be able to fill those jobs. So it's important that we start at an early age, 6th, 7th grade, even 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, to keep them interested all the way through high school and on to college.
Why is it important that they're participating in this today?
First of all, I think it's important because they're interested in it. It's something that they wanted to do, so to continue their interest, to pique their interest, that's, I believe, is very important. And then second of all, to see these students in the STEM disciplines and loving it, that's very important as well.
Why is it important that she is participating in this today?
Because I feel that all children need to learn about science. I feel that they need to learn about how to do experiments and see what else is out there in the world.
Well, I mean, I think STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, I mean, when I was growing up, it was the direction things were going, you know, and even more so now that children get more of a science-based education. I think technology is growing far faster than the schools are keeping up with it. And, you know, things like this help reinforce to schools and to the administrators and whatnot that we really need to put more of a focus on the technology that's coming out and letting these children grow with it. You know, they got lots of great ideas and we should do a little more listening to what they got to say.
Why is it important that you attended this today?
Because it shows how much fun science can be and that everybody else can do it.
We want to show everybody what all the science projects so that people could get interested and probably come to the school and get learn here so that people could become somebody.
It makes learning fun. I mean, you know, some schools don't do a lot of science experiments during class. I mean, my class doesn't sometimes, we're bad. But it's a fun way to learn about science and have fun.
Why do you think this whole event's so important?
Because it helps students to branch out in science so they can see it's not only about reading and writing, but you can also get involved in different things.
To show that there is not just one type of science project that you do over and over. There's different types, all types.
Why is it important that they have this each year?
Well, STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. And those are the basic things you should know to get a great job and have a great life so you can live out your life fully and know you had a great experience.
People can learn new things.
It's important because it's educational and it helps people get updated on the types of new technology there are.
It encourages kids of our age and of every age to go into the scientific category. And especially for me and Carolyn, like for girls, a lot of girls don't really go into engineering or technology. So this was also really helpful into introducing that to them.
How do you think this will affect their future?
Just preparing them, giving them more options. And I think that's the biggest thing is for our students to have as many options to choose from. And like I said, these are the fastest growing fields, so there'll be plenty of jobs available where other fields are slowly shrinking. This will keep them competitive in the future.
I really feel like this is exposing the children to different paths in life. We have different speakers coming to speak to them, so it's really opening their eyes to the science technology world, because I feel like they just think it's computer games and video games, but it's so much more than that.
How do you think that this event helps their future?
Mostly giving them the confidence that science is something that they can deal with, that it's not something that's foreign or different, and it's something that they're very capable of handling on their own.
How will this help their future?
Well, I mean, today alone, they're demonstrating their verbal skills, so they're having to interact with adults, with other peers, with judges, speaking about their experiments, but they're also having to learn the science behind something, and not, instead of just demonstrating how something works, they have to know why it works, what would make it not work, and things like that.
How have you kind of helped them kind of prepare for their projects, get ready for today, and just set up for today, if anything?
We would meet after school, 2 weeks, last week we met after school twice during that week to get them ready for the elimination phase, and then communicating with the parents to see if there's any materials that they needed to get outside of what was provided by Kenilworth, which did an excellent job of that, providing them with materials. But like I said, just meeting after school, talking to them during school. We would meet like in the morning at the beginning or during what we have big break or our recess, and getting them to practice their demonstrations in front of their classmates. They would critique each other, give each other positive feedback to help them to improve for the next time that they present in front of their classmates. So.
My project is Cloud in a Bottle. And so what is the cloud in a bottle is that you put a little bit of alcohol in a little bottle, and then you get some air, you pump the air into the bottle. So that means that it will put some pressure on the bottle, and once you open it, it turns into a cloud. And so once it's a cloud, you put the air back on it and pump it, and it will just disappear. Our teacher, Mr. Elkin, he helped us with it, and so he decided that I should do it, and so that when the molecules, it puts the boiling point onto into the bottle in the alcohol. So once you put pressure on it, it'll just poof.
The reversible thermoelectric generator, and what I have here is it's powered by heated water and ice. And what it does is these are called plates, and this plate is sitting in the heated water, and it pulls energy and electricity, negative and positive electrodes from the water, and they also have to give off heat to make sure the generator don't get overheated, and it gives 4 times more energy than the ice do. And when that happens, this occurs, that the fan turns on, and this can help in it, like how do I put this? This can help in a situation like if a hurricane hit and it's hot, the power goes out, it's hot. If you had another one of these, all you need is a supply of ice and heated water, and it can help cool you off, and you can be fine. Like my friend here, he has a memory paper clip. It's not a regular paper clip. When you put it in heated water, you can bend it however you want to. When you put it in heated water, it turns back the way it was before, the extra shape it was before.
I'm doing the paperclip project. It's nitronal. It's called nitronal. I bend up the paperclip and I put it in hot water, and it turns back to its original form.
Explain to me what your project is.
Dealing with science is reflection of light. So like the light, it reflects, and it's a trick to the eye too. So it would look like I am levitating off the ground, but it's a trick. You wouldn't know.
So the Wimhurst generator, basically, it generates static electricity between these two wheels, and they spin in opposite directions, and one's positive and one's negative, and they go into these metal tubes, and it keeps the static electricity flowing in there until it discharges on the metal poles. And you can move the metal poles to like the closer they are, the smaller the charge has to be. The farther away, the larger the charge has to be. You can put them like this, the poles, but you'd have to sit there and spin it for a long time. The worst thing about the project is that you can electrocute yourself if you're sitting there. If I'm sitting there spinning it and explaining it to you, and I'm holding it down, and it'll shock me because the charge keeps building.
What's the overall goal with your project?
Just to show people how electricity flows.
What has been your favorite part about being here so far?
Having fun with science. Before I came to the school, science wasn't really that fun. I mean, I did a little experiments in 4th grade, but it wasn't really big until I got here.
And what has been your favorite part about being here so far?
Seeing all the people come and learn science, and all the children, because a lot of children don't like science, one of their worst subjects. But to see that it's a lot of cool experiments and stuff, they start to like it.
I was doing my presentation for the hand crank generator, and last year I did the same thing, and I was just hoping that I had an extension to it this year, so I was just hoping I would place again. So.
How do you feel now that you've won first place?
Awesome. I don't know. It's unexplainable.
My project was kind of the first of 3 parts. We were doing NCIS Student Edition, and ours was the season premiere. So we were showing like how in an actual Science Olympiad Crime Busters competition, we would actually use qualitative analysis to determine what different things are. For example, solids, liquids, hairs, all that kind of stuff. So it was a lot of fun.
And what do you hope they take away from today and remember?
A love for STEM, a love for science especially, and then just the enjoyment of being able to demonstrate something and show that they know how to do something, and just that self-efficacy of being able to accomplish something.
What do you hope they remember about today?
I hope that they just get that it's fun. Like science, technology, education is fun. And to be able to see hands-on the real application of it, and that it can be interesting, that learning is fun, and it just carries them through for the rest of their life.
What do you hope that they take away from today?
Well, first off, I hope that they take away the confidence in presenting. This will really open them up in the classroom and not be afraid to share their thoughts, their ideas. Also, I hope they take away a base of knowledge from different areas. Just visiting the different projects that we have, the students took a lot of time in researching, and I hope that they go by each table and just take a little something back with them to the classroom.
That's an exciting event that the public needs to come out and see something like this, because you'll see, as someone said, they're not just getting the best and the brightest. There are other kids that are getting involved in this, and that's exciting, and it's exciting to see youngsters excited about doing things like this. And so I think we need to get as much public involvement and as many people as possible interested and excited about this type of an event.
What are you hoping that kids take away from today?
Well, I really hope that they think about long-term, their career options and how higher education can play in that, and hopefully that they'll move forward into the higher education system and take the courses that help them for the workforce, which is going to be really science and technology for the future.
What do you hope to take away from today, you yourself and then also your daughter?
That she becomes an engineer. I really want her to become an engineer, but I think she's leaning toward doctor, lawyer. But I think that what she's learning as far as experiments, that she can become an engineer and know that her brain can take her anywhere.
What do you hope that she takes away from today?
A broader understanding of experiments or technology or a higher education as her concerns of science and technology. I'm just enjoying while being here, seeing all the excited children.
What do you hope that they take away from today?
I hope that they kind of learn from each other and see that, hey, that no matter, I know this is judging and they get whoever wins first, second, third, but they're all winners. So this is a very good thing for them to do. It's very positive, and I hope it grows. I hope they interest some more of their friends into it so we have a bigger program next year.
What do you hope that they take away from today and just remember?
A better love of it, I guess you could say. They're exposed to not only what they can do and feel success in what they can do, but also see the other demonstrations that provide in different sciences that are out there. So if the one that they are in is not exactly what they want, they see that there are other options as well.
I hope that it gives him confidence, definitely, and, just seeing other people's ideas, and, that he realizes that, maybe some stuff he thought wasn't, might have been a little crazy, is actually, hey, let me do a little more research into this and see what I can do with it, So I hope he gets some confidence and some ideas on directions to go with his ideas.
What do you hope that they remember or take away from today about this experience?
I want them to take away that the world is a wonderful place, and like many things in life, the more you know about it, the better it gets, life and the world in general. And I want them to take away perhaps an enhanced sense of curiosity, to continue to challenge themselves, to learn more about the world and the way it works, and in the future to prepare themselves to make the world a better place.
What do you hope to take away from today? Like, what do you hope to remember or from your experience?
If I win today, then that'll be a memory that I'll never forget, because it shows that it's not just about winning, but it's also about trying your best and trying to be the best at what you do.
And what do you hope to take away from today? Like, how was this experience?
The experience was amazing. That's why I did it again. I did it last year, so I just thought it would be cool to do it again.
What are you hoping to take away from today and this experience?
That to project your voice loudly, make sure every day counts, and to make sure you have everything to back up what your answer is to everything you say in life.
This kind of reminded me of science fair, so next time we go into science fair, I'll be better at doing interviews. And I also learned a little bit more from the judges. Like, they gave me really nice advice, and I learned pretty much a lot about the whole astronaut thing, so that was fun too.
Who are some of these speakers today?
Some of the speakers, we have an astronaut today. We have a lot of members from the different area colleges, from LSU, Southern, Baton Rouge Community College. We have people coming from Baton Rouge Zoo. We have a lot of speakers today.
What was your message up here today whenever you were speaking?
Just kind of tell them a little bit about where I came from and the adversities that I had in my life and how it never kind of stopped me or deterred me or influenced me to do anything else but succeed. So just kind of wanted to let them see that, hey, if I can make it, then hey, they can make it, anybody can make it. The only way I was able to graduate is my English teacher made me write an essay called The Value of an Education. And I kind of wrote it and turned it in, and the next day when I went to the principal's office, they pulled me in and they said, we're going to enter this in the national competition. And I actually won the national competition in Atlanta, Georgia, and it was the Martin Luther King, I Have a Dream, The Value of an Education. And I just wrote about, with an education, you don't have to worry about having your lights cut off or having something to eat or worrying about what kind of clothes you wear. With an education, everything is possible. Anything is possible. So I look out, and my heroes are not entertainers or sports figures. I am extremely honored to be amongst you guys because look at what you're doing.
What is going to be your message here today whenever you speak?
I'm going to share a little bit my background, ma'am. I grew up in what other people would call low-income circumstances, grew up in the projects up in St. Paul, Minnesota. And I want these kids to know that this is still America and the opportunities are still there. And if you want to have an interesting, adventurous life with lots of opportunities, work hard in school. The old formula still works. Work hard in school, pay special attention to those math and science classes, and you will have a fun and interesting life, as I have had. I got hired by NASA to be a space shuttle pilot. Now, do you think back when I was growing up in the projects that I ever thought that I had a chance at ever flying the space shuttle? No, I didn't think, the space shuttle wasn't even invented back then, but I never dreamed of doing those kinds of things. I was just a kid growing up in the projects. But what gave me the power to tell NASA that I could do this and they couldn't tell me no were those pieces of paper that I earned in college that said engineering degrees. That gave me the power and the flexibility to fulfill my dreams.
What was your message up here today whenever you were speaking?
Obviously, you want parental involvement. And if you look around and you see, the stands will be full. And they're full because parents bring their kids and are excited and they want their kids to show off. And kids always want to show off in front of their parents and other people and to be recognized. And so with parents getting involved and with students coming and showing what they have done, it's an exciting day and it's something that the parents and everybody ought to be proud of.
What are the plans for your future?
Well, I do want to learn more about science. And then sometimes I would just want to be learn about helping animals and other kids how science could be fun for everyone.
I actually kind of want to be a scientist, maybe, because I'm actually got interested in being in there, doing awesome science stuff.
I'm very good with sports, but I can't specifically say what I want to do, but I might run track or something like that. I'm very fast in the school.
I want to be a naval engineer, so hopefully go to MIT. And this is a good way to do it. I mean, I stay after school to do stuff with naval engineering. It's really fun.
I want to go to a four-year college, LSU or Florida, go Gators, because they have a really good science program. I love science, and I want to play sports for them, football.
I want to be an engineer, an electronic engineer, really. Deal with computers and stuff.
I want to be a fashion designer when I grow up, so I'm planning on going to a fashion college. And after that, I want to travel around the world and sell my clothes.
I want to go to college, LSU, and might be a doctor.
I'm probably going to be a scientist. Then maybe I might become an engineer.
I want to become a robotic engineer despite the whole chemistry thing, but I'm good at chemistry and robotics, so maybe a little bit of both and programming, something along the lines of that.
For more information, where can they go?
You can go to the Kenilworth website. It's kenilworthst.org, and there's a link to the STEM Expo website. There are also some other links on there that you can find a lot of information.